Hey guys, Kyprotonic here. Once again, I have another narrated Pokemon Wi-Fi battle finder, and this time it's against an opponent called ShadyFire from the Smogon Wi-Fi battle finder. Anyway, looking at his team really quickly, I kind of see he actually has a Sun team going for him. With the usage of a Landorus and a Conch Elder, Xatu kind of makes sense in there, you know, to probably Magic Bounce like the Stealth Rock or even Spikes, but yeah, anything else then, yeah, whatever. Potential threats, probably the Venusaur at most, because if that Sun is around and I lose my Tyranitar, that could be a bit of a problem. So I actually expected his, you know, like Ninetales lead, but he actually probably predicted my Tyranitar lead, so we both switch out with different things. So he led off with Landorus, I led off with Terrakion. So I'm going to switch into my Forretress to take the predicted physical move. I don't know what, and I do not care what it is. So I'm going to go, yeah, straight into Forretress, who can take on Landorus pretty well there. Now in comes a Xatu, which is a bit of a pain for me because I can't really touch this Xatu, and this actually gives it the opportunity to do whatever it likes. So I'm going to go into Tyranitar, you know, to get up the sand, just so then it probably forces his Ninetales to come in at some point if he wants to, you know, get that Venusaur going at any point in the game. So I see that he sets up a Calm Mind. I'm not really scared of this because I'm pretty special defensive in its own right with the Tyranitar. And with the bulk of it, anyway, naturally, it's going to probably take any move that he can try and go for. But probably predicting the correct move, which he did, which was the Rock Slide or Stone Age or whatever, he decides to switch out into his Conch Elder. So that's kind of a bad matchup for me. So I'm going to switch straight out of there, and I'm going to go straight into my Slowbro. Slowbro is a Pokemon that can actually tank the Conch Elder pretty well. I mean, like, recently, the amount of battles that I've had, I can't remember exactly how many I've battled, but at least say I've kind of seen every other game like a Conch Elder for some reason. Maybe people just are actually starting to use Conch Elder a little bit more, or just probably people just like to fanboy over it, I don't know. So I'm going to go for the Psychic whilst he decides to switch out, bring in his Xatu once again. And Xatu, I cannot really do too much to it. I mean, yeah, I do carry some special attacking moves on my Slowbro for different reasons, for some reason. I think maybe like for, you know, things like Ferrothorn that might want to try and come in and try and set up. I do carry the Fire Blast. He now probably predicts my switch out into something whilst he brings in the Ninetales. I can't remember what I tried to do there, but I go straight into my Tyranitar. And because he was faster initially with the Xatu, obviously his Ninetales would come in first, so therefore his ability would kick in first, but then mine would go after. So I have the Sandstorm straight up. He now brings in his Landorus. I go for Stealth Rock because I kind of predicted he would not go into his Xatu. I might have expected that in some sort of capacity. So he brings in the Landorus, which is an easy major threat to my Tyranitar to begin with. Yeah, he then goes for the Earthquake, and that does a shit ton of damage to my Forretress. I kind of thought maybe he was a banded Landorus at this point. So yeah, I'm going to go into my Slowbro, who has a little bit better of natural bulk, I guess, for the physical side. Or I just figured I don't want to take another hit on my Forretress because, you know, he still has some other perks that I need to deal with. So initially I thought it was choice banded by the damage from onto the Forretress. That was wrong. I saw U-turn, so he might well be expert bellied. I really don't know. Sometimes when I come across like Landoruses, I don't really expect them to be anything other than like Scarf for some reason. I mean, Scarf variants are pretty good. A lot of people try and bluff that, and that's why they run like Expert Belt. Excuse me. Anyway, so Ninetales is going to come in on the predicted Scald or Boiling Water, which was a good play. So like with the Drought up, it's going to cut the Water type attack moves in half at that point. So yeah, I'm going to switch into my Tyranitar just to prevent the Sun being up, so, you know, we want a sand stream of sand prevailing all around in the Ninetales face. So here, I don't know why he decides to bring into Venusaur. I probably would have predicted, no, actually, I actually did predict, no, sorry, I'm sorry, I did predict the Venusaur switching, but what was really shocking that he actually did bring it in. It kind of makes no sense, but I don't know why he would have wanted to bring in the Venusaur, considering that was actually a major threat to majority of this team, actually. So he probably should have brought in maybe his Landorus or the Conch Elder at that point, you know, to take on the Tyranitar a little bit better. But I'm not one to complain because that's one major threat out the way, and that actually leaves leaves things a little bit more easier for me to deal with at this point. So yeah, I'm gonna switch out, gonna go into my Slowbro at this point whilst he brings in the Conch Elder. I can't really take it on too favourably, but I'm gonna go for Psychic. It's gonna do a shit ton of damage to the Conch Elder, and yeah, at this point I know I'm actually gonna be able to kill it because I'm gonna be faster, and that's a good thing. So that's one other Pokemon out of the way, and one step closer to victory. So the sunlight turns back to normal apparently now at this point, and now he brings in his Landorus once again. I am actually a little bit scared of the U-turn, but I figured I might be able to actually take that for some reason, and that's why I do decide to stay in here. And also with, you know, the Slowbro kind of doing most of the job, which was initially to take on the Conch Elder and deal with it a little bit better. Things were kind of good to go just to stay in at that point and maybe just sacrifice the Slowbro. But instead I'm actually going to go into my Forretress because I figured, yeah, Forretress is probably not going to be the better of the two Pokemon to keep around much longer. So I just needed to save switch into something, which was my Scizor. I believe I go for the Swords Dance because I figured if he wants to switch out, then that's a good thing for me because I can get an easy +2. And I'm probably going to be good to go to sweep at this point. Yeah, but he decides to stay in and go for the Earthquake, which was probably the correct play to do. And that's going to do about half there to my Scizor. And yeah, I get off a Bullet Punch, and that's easily going to finish off the Landorus at that point of HP. So Xatu is going to come in, and with me at +2, I thought maybe that would be more than enough to pretty much kill off the Xatu, but I guess not. That was kind of a bad judgment on my area. I might have got min damage, I don't know, and I do not care, but I really thought I would have, you know, smacked that beak of that Xatu in its face with the Bullet Punch really quickly. But no, I don't. So I get taken out with the Hidden Power Fire with a useless crit, because, you know, at half HP it's 4 times super effective, and that's easily going to finish me off. So I'm going to bring in something that can actually scare anything in the metagame today, which is a Terrakion. Take out the Xatu for some reason. I go for close combat because I figured I might be able to I might be good to go to sweep the rest of his team. Then I realized, oh yeah, he still has this Charizard. And then looking back, I probably could have even taken out the Charizard because I didn't expect it to be anything other than like a standard Charizard in the Sun team. I don't know if it was Scarfed or anything like that. So I thought maybe even a close combat could have finished it off there. But I was just like, maybe I'll just go into Tyranitar just to prevail it a little bit better. You know, taking it on that little much more easier because, you know, Tyranitar is easily going to be taking any of the moves from the Charizard. So, yeah. So now in comes the Ninetales once again. At this point, it's game over because my opponent can only go for one move and one move only, which is Solar Beam, and that's only going to do about 50 to 60% damage-wise. So I'm going to finish the Ninetales off with a Rock Slide and clinch the game. I think it was a 4-0, but yeah, it was a pretty good game overall. So guys, if you enjoyed, please leave a like, comment, and keep subscribing. I'll catch you guys in the near future. Bye-bye.